So yeah, so in terms of like bullying and tattoos in the workplace, so me having a sleeve tattoo, it has caused a little bit of a problem in one company that I worked at. And my opinion of tattoos is like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it now. And I think more and more people are, being more accepting of tattoos in the workplace. I know many years ago that tattoos are frowned upon. I mean, I don't have any tattoos on my hand or anything that comes below like my shirt line. So, I think that's okay if your tattoos are covered up. I mean, I work in the corporate world. I work in like the medical device industry. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, like a lot of the nurses I deal with, and some of the surgeons and doctors, not so much surgeons, but a lot more of like the nurses in theatres, they all, well, a lot of them do have tattoos on show. So if a big organisation like the National Health Service in England is allowing tattoos, you can see that the tides are definitely changing in terms of tattoo acceptance. And when I have to go into theatres with like surgeons, I have to put the scrubs on, and you can see my tattoos, and you know what, people are not bothered. Like, it doesn't affect like business, it doesn't affect like the way that people interact with me. It opens up conversations as well, which is really good. And then there's another example. When I was on my master's degree, one of the lads that was in my laboratory, one of his professors at the University of Sheffield, he had a face tattoo. I forget the guy's name, but if like a big professor guy at a top university research institute can have a face tattoo, then you can definitely see there's not any problems, certainly in the UK. But the one story that I want to talk about, and this fits into like the bullying and the tattoos, is maybe about 2014, I worked for another medical device company, and I was only there for about 5 weeks. And I had the sleeve tattoo at the time, and I remember we were doing like a company meal in the evening in a pub just so people can get to know each other, and it was only a small group. There was like my manager, there was one of my colleagues, and one of the kind of sales managers, and I had my shirt sleeve rolled up, so my tattoo was on show. And I don't know, we just got talking about tattoos and how, I was saying that, a lot of the nurses that I dealt with at the time never had any problems, and they kind of like were gasping about it, like telling me that I shouldn't do that and it's like bad for business. So we got into a conversation about like Premier League football, well, not just Premier League footballers, but footballers in general who have sleeve tattoos. And the manager, I wouldn't even call him a manager because I think he was a sad excuse for a human being, to be honest. He literally piped up and said, I think people who have sleeve tattoos are pathetic. Like inside, I'm like, I didn't say anything at the time because it was a difficult situation to like pipe up. But in my mind, I was like, bro, you can see that I've got a sleeve tattoo, and what you're doing, you're saying that I'm pathetic. So it kind of made me feel a little bit small, to be honest, in that scenario. And I couldn't really say anything because I was like new into the job. And it was difficult to like pipe up. If I'd have been there for a lot longer, I would have told him, I would have definitely pressed him on it and like asked him why he was saying things like that, knowing that I've got a sleeve tattoo. So to be honest, I left that company within about 5 weeks, but I couldn't. When bullying starts small or like snide comments, that's like the baseline then, and then who knows what that guy would. I think that guy might have gone on to like made my life hell at that company, and that's why I left and went to get a better job. But when I sat and analysed it after I left, I thought, it wasn't about me. His comment wasn't about me. It was about himself, and I don't know why, because I never really got into it. But I don't know, maybe his wife cheated on him with a guy with a sleeve tattoo. This guy was quite small. He, not very good looking. Like, he was quite dumpy. And I'm not being funny, but I'm like 6'2". I'm not a bad built person, and I do look a bit like mean sometimes with the tattoo. So, like, a message from this is, if people ever like say snide comments to you, or, anywhere in life or in the workplace, it's generally not about you. They probably might be going through some bad things in life, or you, as the way you look or you come across, it just, you might remind them of a certain situation that was like bad for them. Like I said, I don't know, worst case scenario is his wife might be cheating on him, or he might just feel like he's not a cool person, and, you know, and he wants a tattoo but he's not sure. But he went about it in the wrong way, because like he had to have a direct attack at me. I mean, come on, I let that shit brush over my head, but I think like I said, the message is, it's like when people give you bad comments, it's not about you at all. It's about them and how they feel inside. And, you know, I can honestly say I did not do anything wrong to that guy, but he had to make a snide comment. And he had a choice. Like, he had a choice. He could have not said anything, but he chose to say something. So, you know, maybe he felt bad about it after, but I didn't care, because I left the company, because there was no way I was ever going to let anybody speak to me like that because I have a sleeve tattoo. So yeah, I mean, moving forward, like, this was like, you know, we're talking fast forward 10 years to now. Like, I think people are becoming more switched on to the fact that a lot of people have tattoos now, as we all know. Like, tattoos have moved forward. They're more like artwork now. So, I mean, don't be, you know, don't think that people won't judge you on tattoos, because people do. But I think the tides are turning now. So, 2 messages, like, don't be worried about having a tattoo. Just, I don't know, maybe it depends on the environment. If you work in the corporate world, just make sure they're covered up and you don't really have any tattoos below your sleeve line or up on your neck here. Just like, play it safe. Unless somebody can make a comment and tell me otherwise, like if they work in the corporate world and they've got tattoos on show, then, you know, just please let me know, so I know I'm not like thinking the wrong thing. And the final point is, you know, if you do come across any discrimination, just know it's not about you. Tattoo should not be a massive factor on whether you're a good employee or not at all. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. So like I say, my key message is, like, you know, if people do want to, like, say bad things to you or try and make you feel small, just know it's because they feel small inside, man. That's all it is. And like, they've got shit going off, and it's probably shit you don't even know about, but just ignore them, man. Or if you can't hack it, and just move, just get out of that situation. So thanks for listening. I'll drop a link into the comments about the bullying video, and I hope you can watch that. If you did find any value in this video, please make a like, or share it with your friends and family, or just like drop a comment, and let's have a chat about tattooing and bullying. So cheers.